Hello everyone, today I'm going to be debunking Leo Gura's Solipsism. So solipsism is a philosophical idea that only one's mind is sure to exist. As an epistemological position, solipsism holds that knowledge of anything else outside one's own mind is unsure. So solipsism is just that, an idea. But what Leo is doing is taking that idea and teaching it as some sort of absolute truth. So there's a bit of a difference with the way Leo teaches it though. It's not exactly the same as solipsism. Solipsism looks to me like it's just there's only just one human mind. A little human mind and that's it. But what Leo teaches is there's only one infinite mind. This is my mind. It's infinite, infinitely powerful, can imagine anything, and this mind is just all alone, and all that there is just what I'm experiencing right now. This computer in front of me. There's nothing else in the universe right now. At this present moment in time, there's no coronavirus going about. No whatever domestic violence or anything else you care to think of that's going on just now. It's actually not happening because it's not in my experience right now. Before I get to the debunking part, I'm just going to address something which his followers have told me, and this is teachings have changed, but the way I see it, they haven't. He's still teaching the exact same thing. It's just me here, God, imagining this. All the other people around me are just fake cardboard cutouts. They're just hallucinations. My whole life is a hallucination. Stuff like that. So, to confirm this, we'll just listen to a very small part of one of his more recent videos.
And what's even worse about it is not just that you take a chemical and then reality starts melting around you. No. It's way worse than that. The real scary part about it is that you realize that, oh, that life that I used to live, where I used to wake up in a house and go to the store and go to work and talk to my family and friends and blah, 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 and I was living in the 21st century, all of that was just a trip. All of that was a hallucination. It was just an alternative hallucination.
So yeah, I don't understand how that's not really solipsism, because as someone else, if I'm looking at them, they're just a hallucination, then that means they've got no experience of reality of their own or any internal world or anything like that. They're just a hallucination. It still to me sounds like solipsism. So that just begs the question, why would I, as an infinitely intelligent God, hallucinate this talking head in front of me, telling me that I'm God, telling me that I'm all alone, and that all my loved ones are just illusions, and as a result of that, putting myself through all of that suffering? It's not really infinite intelligence to me, that just seems like infinite stupidity. Now, if Leo's teachings had really changed, I would have thought that he would have at least changed or removed this self-inquiry list of enlightenment exercises post which he has on his forum, but it hasn't changed at all. Okay, so it's the same. There's nothing beyond what is occurring right this second. Notice that anything else you might think might be happening behind the scenes is just a thought happening right now. So you watching this, you don't actually exist because you're behind the scenes, so there's no point in me making this video and I'm just wasting my time talking to you, supposedly. But coming up in this video will be 2 tests that I done on Leo, which he failed both of them miserably. So here's another one. Noticing that other people do not exist. So I'll go down a bit. It says, become deeply conscious that other people do not exist. Become so deeply conscious of this that you feel alone in the universe. There's no one here but you. You are all that's ever existed and ever will exist. So, what a thing to tell someone, the harm that can do. Now, I've been through it, and it is some of the most terrifying. It's terrifying what it does to you. I'm still kind of messed up from it, and the only effect that's left from it is that somehow I can no longer remember past emotions. So I can actually be picking up pictures and looking at them from like camp trips or whatever, and I cannot actually remember the emotions I felt when I was on those holidays. Sometimes the faintest flicker comes up, but I can no longer remember them. Yeah, in the present moment right now, I'm nearly always 100% of the time I'm fairly calm and relaxed. So that lasting thing, it's not really a massive problem. But still, it sucks a little bit nonetheless. Okay, so here's an example of Leo's teachings doing actual harm to someone. So this happened on April the 12th, 2019. So he's basically saying that the only thing that would stop me, that is killing myself, is if people were real on any level. So for poor Paul here, the saying Sonder, the realisation that every passerby is living a life as vivid and as complex as your own. Oh no, this doesn't apply to him anymore. So all the other people are just fake cardboard cutouts now. They don't have their own internal worlds, hopes and dreams or anything, because they're just illusions that you're imagining. How sick is that? Now, if we scroll down further, okay, so suicide went well. Took a shitload of sleeping pills, got really drunk, and put a bag over my head and went to sleep. Woke up a few hours later and threw up. So he's gone and hurt himself. Now, I think he's okay now because I was in touch with him for a while after this, but he then eventually went completely silent, and I don't think he's been heard from since. So I hope he's okay. I hope what he's done is just left all this behind completely and gone and done something better with his life, pretty much like what I've done. I now no longer perform any formal spiritual practices apart from just living in the present all the time, and I don't feel there's anything that I need to seek anymore, really. I feel complete in myself, if you know what I mean. Like, yeah, I'll still seek things like on a practical level, like whatever, more money or anything else you care to imagine, But it's not like I'm doing it in a neurotic, needy way anymore. On this forum, gaslighting goes on a lot. So here is someone who just posted a massive criticism of Leo. Leo just comes out with his usual solipsism. Leo is an illusion you created, wakey wakey. That's just him attempting to gaslight the original poster. And I've been on the receiving end of this as well, so let's have a look here. I asked this question when I was really deeply into this stuff. So I was just basically asking why it seems like a point camera looking out at reality. Because for somehow I'm not, according to these people. And later on, I said something to the effect of, if I can just try and find it, that I will do it when my loved ones pass away, so there's no issues if it fucks up. So it being 5-MeO, DMT and psychedelics and all that stuff, I wouldn't actually start doing that work just in case it really, really messes up and ruins my loved ones' lives because I seriously hurt myself. So what I was saying was I'll wait until they pass away naturally and have lived and enjoyed their lives. So if I fuck anything up, it's solely on me, and there's not really going to be anyone else left to get upset about it, And Leo just comes out with, your loved ones are imaginary. And gaslighting, it's a sport for these people. They actually enjoy it. So if I have a look here, it's funny. They like doing this, and there's not much more I can say about that other than it's just sick. It really is. So now I present 2 tests to Leo. This was my last post on this forum before I got banned. So test number 1 for Leo is, Leo, I am alone. I created and am imagining you. You have no experience of reality of your own because you are just an illusion I'm imagining. In that case, you will not mind at all sending me, say, £500 every month. As you don't exist and are a man who promotes infinite love and selflessness, you cannot possibly have any issues with this relatively small request whatsoever. After all, you are now fleecing the gullible via Patreon to the tune of $4,225 per month, on top of what you were earning previously. And I've received nothing from him. In principle, if he doesn't exist, and he is striving to be as selfless as possible, then he should have no problem sending me a little bit of money, which could be used to develop electric car stuff for DIY enthusiasts and stuff, So it's not too bad a cause. So we have test 2. I am God, there's no other than myself. Delete all your videos contain this teaching and tell the world that Shaun is God. If your teachings are really true, you'll have no issues with that one either. But the thing is, Leo cannot do that. He can't say to the world that Shaun is God. He has to say that you are God. Now, that just makes the teaching universal, because we all respond to the name you. We can all be called you. So by saying you are God, that allows him to delude every individual person around the planet into the sick doctrine of solipsism he's peddling. At least that's how it seems to me. If, however, Leo was to say that Shaun is God, well, his teachings won't work because they just apply to me now. But since I'm the only one in existence, it's not unreasonable to request this. It's not unreasonable to say that Shaun is God. It's not too much of a stretch really at all. But as I said, he cannot do that for the reasons I just explained. Well then, that's pretty much my perspective on the whole thing. I hope that's given you also a new perspective on his teachings, and if you've been seriously harmed by them, like some people have, then hopefully this has helped you. I suspect something. I suspect that a lot of people have committed suicide because of Leo's teachings. But I can't prove this. I don't know for certain. Because if you imagine someone's receiving these teachings, they're going to be like, okay, so I'm all alone in the universe. I'm not even going to post on a forum about what I'm going through because there's no one else here to help me anyway. So, boom, head off with a shotgun, that's it, done. But as I said, it's a very, very strong claim to make about someone, so I don't know for certain if other people have gone and killed themselves or not.